tried and true. That's the beauty of fun.
Hello everybody, this is Valencia. Welcome to my channel Balloons and Business, where I show you the business of balloon and event decor. I wanted to do a detailed tutorial on how I make my balloon garlands, and I'm going to do it two ways. I'm going to do it the twist and tie method, which is where I twist my balloon dupes together into small clusters and I tie them together by the necks of the balloons. And then I'm going to be doing the 260 method, where I'll be using the 260 balloon to connect my clusters together. Okay, I just want to give you a rundown of the colors that I'm using in case you're curious. I'm going to be using some standard pink balloons, some lavender purple balloons, mirror green, and then I have baby blue. And then I have some 260 balloons right here in black Sempertex. So now it's time to blow up my balloons. I'm going to start with these baby blue Tuftex balloons, and these are the 12-inch, and I'm going to take two of them and blow them up on my electric balloon pump. Okay. Now, if you notice the balloon shape, these balloons are a little bit coney, okay? Now, I haven't blown them all the way up to full capacity, so you don't really see the true coniness of them, but they're still coney in shape. And I want these balloons to be more round. And the reason for that is because you will see gaps in the clusters because the coniness doesn't fill in as well as when the balloons are rounded. Also, if you're doing an outside party and you overinflate your balloons, the heat from outside causes the latex in balloons to expand. So if the balloons are overinflated, there is no room for that latex to expand and it's gonna pop. You can take your hand and put it on the top of the balloon and release air from the bottom, slightly pushing the balloon in to kind of squish it in a little bit, not too much. You see that? Or you can take the balloon and you can put it on the floor or on your side, and you can push it in gently while releasing air from the top. You see, they're much more rounder in shape, and they also have a lot more flexibility. So when you're trying to twist them, they're less likely to pop. So now what I'm going to do is tie these balloons into dupes. So I'm just going to take the balloons. I'm going to crisscross my hands, and I'm going to cross the necks of the balloons across each other. Then I'm going to take one of the neck and I'm going to twist it around the crisscross. And then I'm going to tie the necks together, making sure I leave some slack, because if I'm going to be doing the twist and tie method, I need to make sure there's enough neck for me to grab inside of those clusters to tie together. Okay. Now, this is going to be an organic balloon garland. You don't necessarily have to blow up your balloons to different sizes on purpose. But I do know some people, they like to kind of manipulate the sizes of the balloons by blowing them up to different sizes. So they may blow like this balloon up to this size and this balloon up to this size, you know. As you can see, this one's a little bit smaller than this one, and then, tie it together. You can do that too. You can also blow up a 17-inch balloon with a 12-inch balloon, right? And then you can tie them together as well. It doesn't matter. If you bought different sizes of balloons, you're going to see different sizes. Because by nature, a 17-inch balloon is going to be much bigger than a 12-inch balloon. A 12-inch balloon is going to be much bigger than a 5-inch balloon. And a 36-inch balloon is going to be much bigger than all of them. So you're going to still see that organic look whether you manipulate the sizes of the balloons or not. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I am going to twist my dupes together into small clusters. And I'm going to twist these into clusters of 4 dupes, which is a total of 8 balloons. Okay, So I'm just going to take my 2 dupes and I'm going to twist them around 2 times to make sure they're nice and securely twisted together. You want to twist them around at least twice, because if you don't, it'll be very easy for these balloons to come out of the clusters if you only do it once. So I'm going to add another balloon and I'm going to twist it into this cluster 2 times. Then I'm going to take another dupe and I'm going to twist this one into this cluster 2 times. And this is my cluster right here. So now that I have balloons twisted into small clusters, I am going to use the twist and tie method to make my balloon garland base. So right now I'm going to take one of my clusters, my purple cluster, and I'm going to take one neck from one balloon in this purple cluster, a neck from a balloon in this blue cluster, and then I'm going to tie them together. So I'm hoping you can see this. The necks, do you see that? I'm about to tie them together, sorry. I'm trying to make this as visible as possible for you guys. And it's going to be a little tricky at first, but over time you will get it. There you go. See that? And that's how I'm connecting them. So oftentimes you want to tie the 12-inch balloon necks, not the 17-inch balloon necks, if you have the chance. Now, if the balloon cluster is made out of nothing but 17-inch balloons, then you're going to have to make sure that when you first blow the balloons up and tie them into dupes, that you make sure you got a lot of neck there, because, like I said, the 17-inch balloons, their necks don't tend to stretch as good as the 12 ones. Now, doing the twist and tie method, I feel like it makes the balloon garlands tight. You know, it makes them stick together pretty tight. Now, I did have someone ask in the comment section, when they do their balloon garland this way, using the twist and tie method, why is it still loose? It could be because the balloons are overinflated and you got that coney shape, so it's leaving gaps. Or you might need to just manipulate the balloon garland a little bit and, you know, twist it together a little bit more. Maybe the balloons are not twisted together enough, you know. That's another thing too. If you feel like you see some gaps, feel free to, you know, change and alter and just twist and turn the balloons around until it fills in the gaps. Somebody else brought up a question about what happens when the balloons that are tied together in the base of the garland, what happens when one of them pops? You know, if the balloon pops and then it untwists out of the cluster, well, then won't the whole balloon garland fall apart? Well, one of the ways you can prevent that happening, even though it's never happened to me, one of the ways you can prevent that from happening is to tie another neck here. So I'm taking another neck from a pink balloon and another neck from a green balloon, and I'm tying that one together too. So you can tie more than one balloon in each cluster together if you're worried about that. And I'll give you extra security. And then it will be attached at 2 points in each cluster. So now I'm going to do the 260 method to connect the clusters for the other balloon garland. Okay, so I got my 260 balloon and it's very stretchy. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cluster. I'm going to start off with the blue cluster again. And this time around, I added an extra dupe into the blue, the pink, and the purple cluster. So it's 5 dupes in these clusters. And I added another dupe into the purple cluster and the other balloon garland to make sure that they all match. So the blue, the pink, and the purple clusters in both balloon garlands will have 5 dupes twisted in, which is a total of 10 balloons. And the chrome green balloons will still have the 4 dupes, which is a total of 8 balloons. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this 260 balloon 2 times around one of the balloons in this blue cluster. So 1, 2. And as you see, it's right here, nice and stretchy. And you see this right here. So I'm going to put this on top of the purple. Okay. Then I'm going to take my 260 balloon and I'm going to wrap it around a couple balloons in the purple cluster. And I'm going to tug because I want to really stretch this 260 out and get as much of it as possible. Then I'm going to wrap the 260 around a couple balloons in the blue cluster. Okay, then I'm going to wrap it back around a balloon in the purple cluster. Okay, and I still have some more room, so I'm going to wrap it back around a balloon in the blue cluster again. And then I'm going to tie the 260 balloon into itself. Sorry. Twist this around so you can see that the 260 is tied into itself. So you want to make sure you wrap that 260 around several balloons in both clusters so that it's nice and tight, okay?
Maybe I'm too black, maybe I'm too bold. Sip up on this coffee, tell me, do I taste too strong? Maybe you don't like me, do you think I care?
So here's what the other balloon garland looks like, connected together with the 260 balloon. I used one 260 for each cluster. So this is both of the garlands. They both are very secure. You know what I mean? They're both very secure. I prefer to use the twist and tie method because you're using less material. You know, I think you can get the same results as this one, but you're using less material. So I blew up some 5-inch decorator balloons and I blew them up and tied them into dupes. So I'm going to take my dupes and I'm just going to twist them around twice, just like I did with the other sizes of the balloons. You can tie 2 quads on both ends of this 260 balloon. And since the purple and green are connected together, okay, you can just take that 260 balloon and you can wrap it around the balloon garland, okay? I'm just going to wrap it around the balloon garland all the way around this one balloon. And then I'm going to take the other end of the 260 because it's very stretchy. And I'm going to go down here and wrap it around this balloon here in the green cluster. And I'm going to wrap it all the way around the balloon. And then I'm going to move it wherever I want to. So this is a gap right here. I can fill that gap up with this purple balloon. And then I can move this over here to fill in over there. All right. See, you want to make sure when you're wrapping this 260 around the balloon, you make sure you wrap it around all the way around the balloon one good time. Because if you only wrap it like halfway around and then try to work the other end, it will come undone. So make sure you wrap that 260 around the whole balloon one good time. Okay, and make sure that these are really in there. And then once you do that, the 260 is so stretchy, you can move it any way you want. And a lot of times I will put my 5-inch decorators on my balloon garland base before I even get to the location. And the reason for that is because I can always adjust it. Once I put the balloon garland onto the stand and everything, if I don't like the positionings of these 5-inch decorators, I can just move them around and adjust them to where I want to. Okay, so.
I'm too bold. Sip up on this coffee. Tell me, do I taste too strong? Maybe you don't like me. Do you think I care? This train gon'
So here's what my balloon garland bases looks like so far, with the 5-inch decorators in there. So some things for you to note. I personally would not suggest that you make your balloon garlands more than a day before the event. You can blow up your balloons and tie them into dupes a few days before the event, but do not twist the balloons into your clusters and tie them together or whatever until at least the day before the event, okay? And the reason for that is because these balloons will start to lose air, because when you twist the balloons, it creates a lot of pressure and tension, and they will start to lose air. Even when I wake up in the morning, a couple of these balloons may be slightly more underinflated than I normally want them to be. But that's okay, because I'll just add another like dupe here or there, wrap it around the underinflated balloons, and you won't even notice it. Okay, but you definitely don't want to make this balloon garland more than one day before the event. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think they last as long. I've tried this before where I've made balloon garlands like 2 days before, and they lost more air than I cared, and I had to go behind them and make more dupes and wrap them around all of the underinflated balloons. So hopefully you found this tutorial helpful. I wanted to go into more detail about how I made my balloon garland base. I know a lot of times when I show you guys these videos, they're sped up, and so you see the process in fast time. So I wanted to show you in real time how I made this, and I also wanted to answer some questions that some of you guys have been asking me in the comment section. Now, I do have a video on this setup for this balloon garland, and it's very interesting because I ran into a lot of problems. The wind was crazy and my backdrop stand actually broke. So if you want to see how I was able to overcome all of those things and get this balloon garland up, go ahead on and check that video out. I have that link in the description box below. So if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, go ahead on and like it, and please subscribe, and you'll get notifications on future videos on balloon and event decor. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.
tried and true.